What's up, Jason? I didn't expect anybody would hop in. This is actually I was gonna just do this instead of recording a video to address some very specific people. What's up, Lee? Good to see you, dude. Yeah, don't feel like you have to be here, Jason. I know Tony's still streaming. This probably isn't going to be very long anyway. But yeah, this the title's kind of tongue-in-cheek. It's meant to mock some certain freemasons who are AI worshippers. I'm gonna tag this tag them in this once I'm done. Prince all niggas be wild. Yeah, so you might not know this, Jason, but League knows. A lot of my followers are from the pipe tobacco community, because I used to make sort of satirical videos about the pipe tobacco community, because well, I'm not gonna get into that, but so within the past few months there was a sudden spike in Freemasons who started making pipe tobacco videos. And actually, hang on, I want to test this real quick. And it's not working. Oh, there we go. Oh, I hate that. It's ugly. Never mind. So yeah, suddenly, all at once, a group of Freemasons started making pipe tobacco videos, and they're all AI worshippers. They're all at the center of multiple female behavior dramas happening. They're clearly subversives who have ulterior motives. And so I wanted to talk about it a little bit, because I still have a lot of people who watch me from that community who I know a lot of them do realize these things, and but I think some of them probably don't. And some of them don't understand just how subversive they are. Damn, I'm trying to find something, some screenshots. I didn't upload it, so I'm gonna try to send it to myself real quick. But yeah, so these guys are at the center of multiple retarded dramas happening, and they're targeting businesses and individuals. man, I think it might be on my old phone. Crap. All right, whatever. Anyway. Sorry, I'm kind of tired. It's kind of hard to get all my thoughts together. So I know a lot of people think it's a coincidence that they all appeared at the same time and that there's so many of them. I mean, there were a lot of them before that too. But this specific group, they all interact with each other. They all appeared around the same time. They're all they all seem to be worshiping our AI. They use it extensively. What's up, Johnny? Good to see you, bro. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, so they're all clearly clearly using AI to write their scripts and using it to generate their thumbnails and optimize their channels. That's why I have this title, because it's like it's mocking their titles for their videos. And if anybody states the obvious, but hey, what's up, Gravity? Good to see you, dude. You aren't really missing much by not watching this if you want to watch Tony. This wasn't really a planned stream. I just wanted to address something instead of making a video about it. Sorry, I keep getting sidetracked. So yeah, when they call out, they block my comments and call me homophobic. And delete my comments. And say that they're suffering from PTSD for people just saying that they're using AI and acting like they're victims, which is absurd. And talking about their health issues and frankly acting like women, like thin-skinned women. But I think there's an ulterior motive behind all of this, and I think that I don't think it's a coincidence. I think it might be something as simple as just recruiting, but there might be more to it than that, because there seem to be some of them seem to be making a monetary gain from it, which is fine. I accept tips on here. Whatever. But I've seen people say that they don't recruit like that. And that's bullshit. One of the screenshots that I wanted to show was that I'm constantly getting ads on YouTube to join Freemasonry. So to say that they don't recruit on YouTube is nonsense and easily proven false. So I think they join these communities and groups to do that and to subvert it and to subvert Christianity, because some of the people that they are attacking are real Christians, not fake Christians like they claim to be. Yeah, Johnny. Yeah. As Freemasons dying out, they're consolidating, concentrating, turning their efforts online for influence recruitment, presenting themselves as pseudo-masculine philosophers. Also, they're supposed to not use Masonic branding in their businesses or worldly ventures, but they all do. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. But I think they're intentionally targeting Christian people, even though they claim to be Christians, but the two are completely incompatible. It's its own, they say it's not a religion, but they're just like a philanthropic group, but that's a lie also. Yes, the lower levels are lied to, the lower degrees are lied to, so they might just be retarded and not realize it, but they take a blood oath as soon as they join. I see Freemason ads and plenty of Freemason themed pipes. Must be enough for the pipe market. Yeah, I think they target the pipe community specifically because there's sort of like a ritual involved in pipe smoking, and it's people that are already sort of like seeking a brotherhood and a community, and are into it's kind of like a historical tradition, I guess you could say. And they buy into this like pseudo philosophical AI generated bullshit, hook, line, and sinker, and think it's like brilliant, even though to people who know it's blatantly obvious AI. And so, yeah, I wanted to address it because they keep deleting my comments and stirring up drama and acting like they're victims and acting like women and saying that they get PTSD from someone saying that they use AI. It's ridiculous. Yeah, they're targeting crossover associations and what men are finding in the traditional Christian resurgence happening, trying to shepherd pull as many as they can. Yeah, and I mean they've been infiltrating churches since the beginning, and they were very successful in infiltrating Roman Catholicism. One of the few things that the Orthodox Church and the Roman Catholic Church used to agree on was that Freemasonry is incompatible. But I don't think Catholics are even banned from being Freemasons anymore. And one of the things that really pissed me off is that the ones who don't try to play victims try to act tough. And they're fat old men. They aren't tough. I don't care if they used to be cops or whatever. They aren't tough. I promise you that. I don't really, I don't play around with this bullshit because, although it is different, it's the same kind of people that tried to dox me and falsely report me to the FBI. And Protestants, when I was a Prot, I knew several Mason Shriners who attended church wearing Masonic belt buckles and always talked about their lodges at fellowship. Yeah. Yeah, I was never a Protestant. I was Roman Catholic when I was really young, and then agnostic for a lot of my life before I became Orthodox. Oh, it does? Okay. That's good to know, Johnny. I thought they changed that stance. But they are still infiltrated. And I mean, they try to infiltrate the Orthodox Church too. I'm sure there are some priests out there who turn a blind eye to it. But I think it would be very difficult for them to become clergy or anything like that. It's still considered a mortal sin. Yeah, as it should be. You can't claim to be with Christ and then seek perfection and truth outside of Christ. Especially through esoteric nonsense. Alright, look, we got one in the chat already. No, this isn't an open panel. This is my channel. I have the microphone. I'm not going to let you come on here and lie. Sorry. I was Lutheran as a child and then fell away. Drugs. If you want to say something in chat, I'll read it. But it's not an open panel. I'll address what you say in good faith if you address me in good faith. Let's start with this. What degree are you? And which rite? Sorry, I don't know you personally, Hyperborean. And I'm addressing some very specific Freemasons. I don't know you. I've never seen you before. So apologies for that. But you can, if you have something to say, you can say it in the chat, and they'll see it on the screen, and I'll read it. Hey, Suzanne. Third degree Master Mason. Okay. Oh, York, right. Okay, sure. Yeah, go ahead and say whatever whatever you want to say, man. What's TML? No good, man. I knew what you were saying. It still reads, I mean, you still say it the same way. Oh, you want to listen? Did you hear the beginning of the stream? Because I pretty much said my piece. I didn't have a whole lot more to say about it. Machine lies, yeah, I know that guy is. Oh, well, it was basically yeah, I remember that. I think I've seen him in other debates too. So Hyperborean, it was about I used to be part of a pipe tobacco community, and within the past few months, there's been a lot of Freemason YouTube pipe channels pop up, and it was all at the same time, and they're all Freemasons, and I think they're being very subversive and lying and starting drama with people and attacking Christians and worshiping AI, and then acting like victims and calling me homophobic and deleting my comments, and then acting like victims and acting tough. And I have a lot of people from that community who watch my channel, who might not understand these things. Hey, Timber Drifter, how are you, man? I haven't seen you around in a while. Hope you're well. Most Freemasons I know personally are Christian. I've noticed the Reddit tier Mason is more like a diva, sad. Yeah, well, Christianity and Freemasonry is incompatible, so they aren't Christians. I understand that the York Rite is more so-called Christian focused than the Scottish Rite. But they're still incompatible. And personally, no offense to anybody in the chat, but if you're a Protestant, I don't really think you're a Christian either. So My grandpa was a Freemason for a time but left because it was incompatible with his Christian beliefs. Yeah, I've had relatives who were Freemasons. One of my relatives was a congressman. Yes, this is true. There are contradictions in practices. For example, praying together instead of alone. Yeah, I think it's a lot more than that, but yes, there are contradictions. Yeah, I'm not really down with agnostic Muslims, Jews, and Christians taking secret oaths together. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, just in and of itself, it's very like neo-Gnostic mystery cult with its own theology and rituals and symbols and blood oaths. What's up, Big Boss? I still remember I team killed a Freemason in a game called Foxhole, and he came back to team kill me. We had like a 30-minute yelling match. I haven't met any Masons that were interested in answering questions about their club. Yeah. Well, I mean, they take an oath to have their tongue cut out. You mean York Rite? I mean, there's a lot of Scottish Rite Masons as well, so. But I mean, the Grand Architect and all that, that's very Gnostic. And the wow, I didn't expect this many people to be here. I'm thinking about if I'm going to let you call in. I just, I don't know you, Hyperborean, and I don't want you to break TOS and like start saying nigga with a hard R and stuff like that. I'm Catholic, so I don't care how it works. It's against my religion. There's only one God, not an architect of the universe, and all religions do not lead to the same God. Yeah, I mean, I do agree with you, Johnny. But if you believe in Vatican II, they say that Muslims and Jews lead to the same God. All right, I'll tell you what, Hyperborean. Do you have Discord? If you have Discord, we can do a call. From what I read, it does seem to be Gnostic based, but I couldn't get any more info by asking. Yeah, there's a lot of There's like a lot of Egyptian stuff as well. A lot of phallic worship. Whenever you see an obelisk, like the Washington Monument, that represents a phallus. It represents Osiris's phallus, the Egyptian god. And there also happens to be one of those in the courtyard of the Vatican. So yeah, Hyperborean, do you have Discord? We can do a call on Discord if you do. I don't know, because I've had people falsely report me to the FBI and try to dox me, so I wouldn't put it past them to try to get my channel shut down too. Alright. I'll give you a chance, man. Post your Discord name and I'll send you a request. Become Orthodox, Johnny. We can go over real quick. I wrote them down, all the dates in which different Orthodox shit. Buffering. Let me try something real quick. Might be because my phone's on the Wi-Fi. I think someone just sent me a tip and it didn't pop up. Why didn't that pop up? Hold on, let me go over here real quick. Yeah, it's not working. Whoever that was, anonymous, thank you very much for that. I appreciate you. Hopefully it picks back up. I don't know if you heard me say it, but thank you to Anonymous who sent in a tip. I don't know why it didn't pop up on the screen, but I see it now. Hostile Hyperborean. Alright, man. I'll let you call in. Just go to a liturgy. It just got better now, the buffering? Alright. Yeah, hopefully it'll be okay now. Can you hear me?
I can.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing fine, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. How did you find my channel, by the way?
Just surfing YouTube lives.
Okay, cool.
Simply typing in Freemasonry, and then on the top of YouTube, they'll have like tabs, and it will say live tab.
Yeah.
And because of your title, it popped up.
Okay. Yeah, this title's sort of a joke.
Oh, okay.
It's so I don't know if you heard me talking about the pipe community.
I did. I heard that
So
part.
these guys they heavily use AI, and so that title is sort of to mock their use of AI. It's like a clickbait AI title.
Oh, I see. Okay, you won't believe what the Freemasons are doing now. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So anyway, do you have any hang on, I got a couple of super chats. Let me just address those real quick. Yeah, it's still not working, but Little Chungus, thank you very, very much for the big tip. And anonymous tip testing, it's still not popping up, but I see it. Thank you. So do you have any guess as to why so many of them might be joining pipe communities all at the same time?
Yeah, there's a lot of old guys in masonry who, smoke pipes. They're like, it's like I think it's like an association or a trope on wisdom.
Sure, yeah.
So, so these older guys, being mentors, they kind of set a trend for younger guys to take on pipe smoking.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what's going on, maybe.
So why do you think so many all did it at the same time?
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I don't know why they would do it at the same time.
And why all of them are suddenly stirring up drama within the communities.
Yeah, that's strange. Like I said, I've seen on Reddit, like the lodge that I'm a part of is like quote unquote old guard. A lot of these guys are upstanding figures in their community, and they're not really they're not millennials. Most of them are like Protestant boomers.
Sure.
So they're not on the internet. I think it's the younger crowd. They join masonry for the wrong reasons. Either they're like a legacy mason, their dad or their grandpa was a mason, or they join it because they assume it's gonna do something for them within society, like social ladder climbing or something. So yeah, that's what I meant by sad. I see a lot of these guys on Reddit, in the Freemason subreddit. My lodge is like the antithesis of the Reddit Mason. These are like guys who move in silence, who go to church, who have wives and kids, and they work a 9-to-5. They're not, they come from all paths of life. I think I got lucky in that regard. Yeah, I think
So do you know
the thing about Freemasonry is
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. It's okay.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, you're dealing with men from a lot of different paths of life. It draws all different types of people, so it's not like this set thing. Even though the petition requires certain answers of you, like do you believe in a higher power or a supreme deity, things like that. There's a lot of wiggle room. You're not gonna get like a cut, copy, paste individual, right? That's the thing about masonry. It's a trope within masonry. There's like a joke. One of the more famous jokes is like, how many masons does it take to change a light bulb? They'll never get it changed, right? Because there's one guy saying this is how you do it, and then another guy says no, that's not how you do it. You need to grab a chair and do it this way, and you got to turn it this slow with this grip. And then this guy says no, you're wrong. And so forth ad infinitum. They can never change the light bulb because each mason is hyper individualized. It's very strange. It's paradoxical, right? You think that a Mason is like this like robot because he practices language and footwork, but really they all believe that they have their own perspective on reality. They're hyper individualized. It's kind of strange.
I just hang on one second. I got a bunch of super chats and they weren't showing up, and they just started showing up. So let me just let them play.
Fail.
Hey yo, thank you, Big Naga. Thank you, Anonymous. It's working now.
Keep testing.
Thank you very much, Little Chungus.
Both of those names are pretty based.
And thank you very much, Anonymous again. So are you familiar with the Scottish Rite at all?
I am. Yeah, I went through the Scottish Rite.
So have you read
up
Morals?
to the 32nd degree?
Oh wow, okay. Have you read Morals and Dogma?
Yeah, and it's pithy. It's been a while too. It's been like maybe 8 years since I've read that book, and it's very dense and pithy.
Yeah. Do you know who it's dedicated to?
I can't recall the dedication.
Lucifer.
It says that as a dedication, like before the book begins?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm pretty good with memory. I don't think that that's the case. If you could help me out and maybe show me that would help for sure.
Yeah,
But
sure.
I remember that Lucifer is mentioned. It's mentioned once by Albert Pike, and it's in the 19th degree.
Mm-hmm.
And he talks about the etymology of the word Lucifer. He says something like, Lucifer, the light bringer, quote unquote, the prince of darkness, quote unquote. And he's saying like, why would somebody?
He's the light bringer, not the prince of darkness.
Yeah, he said, why? Well, no, that's what Pike is saying. Pike
Right.
in his book is saying, why would the light bringer be called the prince of darkness?
Right.
And he's saying there's something going on there, but he breezes past it. It's only a few sentences, and then that's it. That's the only reference to Lucifer in the entire book is in the 19th degree. He says that God's name is actually Yahweh backwards, which is very strange. He says like, he has a supplemental book to that book. It's called the Book of Words.
Mm-hmm.
It's also very pithy and astute.
Mm-hmm.
That goes into why he thinks that.
Okay.
And he starts from
read
like
that.
Sanskrit. Yeah, it's pretty dense. It's pretty dense. But yeah, I don't think I remember a dedication to Lucifer. If you can pull that up, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
I'm not a Satanist, so that would help me.
You can see the book's on the Internet Archive. You can read the entire thing on the Internet Archive, and it's right at the
Well, yeah, I
beginning.
mean, I have the book physically, right?
And it's not in your copy?
Yeah, it's not in my copy. So if you could show me that,
Okay.
that would help.
In the meantime, what does the G stand for?
It stands for two different things.
Okay.
At least explicitly.
I know the answer.
Right? So
I know the answer. I just want to see if you'll answer it correct. If you'll truthfully answer it.
So that's explained in the 2nd degree, called the Fellowcraft degree, and there's two explicit answers for that question. So that doesn't mean that it's only two. That's what I mean by explicit, right? There's only two that's mentioned. So there could be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ad infinitum. The two that are explicitly mentioned are God and geometry, and that's in the 2nd degree of the Fellowcraft.
What about Gnostic?
They
Or
never
Gnosis.
mention the word Gnostic they never mention the word Gnostic or Gnosis in any of the 3 degrees of Freemasonry. I can't recall Gnosis being mentioned either in the 32 2 degrees of the Scottish Rite. They do use Kabbalism in the Scottish Rite. They do, like in certain slides and certain degrees, they'll use the Kabbalistic tree of life, but they give it different, they assign different qualities to the Sephira of the tree of life, which is interesting because I studied Kabbalism before joining Masonry. And that was one of the first things that I noticed. I was like, oh, well, those attributions to the Sephira are different. That was kind of interesting. They switched them.
And
so they're not the Jewish Sephira.
So, I mean, so you think this stuff is compatible with Christianity?
No, I agree with you. I think that there are things, as far as the practices, like the red letters explicitly state how to do things, and they do things in a different manner. I mean, there's room for nuance. I would say that, like, you can pray. So that's the biggest one that I've found, is that the praying alone thing. Jesus deliberately tells you how to pray. Straightforward tells you how prayer is supposed to be done. And Masons don't ever mention how to pray correctly, but they pray before and after every business meeting, and you do it together. And Jesus doesn't say to do that. Now, you could argue, you could say, well, you can still pray alone, right? Because in the language, Masons say there's an inexhaustible fount of relief through the method of prayer. So they do it. I will say this. Let me just start with this. Let me back up. Masonry is highly moral. The actual language that they use, if you just read it for face value, it's absolutely moral and upright. Now, where the problem is, like, I'm going to be transparent here because I'm anti-Satanist. I think the problem lies in the fact that Masons have a lodge. This is an area where they're allowed to do things in secrecy, right? Just like any building. If you guys had your own property, you could do whatever you want on your property with a group of men. The problem here is that if you get a group of men who are like-minded and all of them are evil at their core, they're going to do things on their own outside of the regulations, because Masonry operates on constitutions, or I'm sorry, a constitution which has bylaws and regulations. And these, there's a part of the Constitution that states that you cannot perform the work outside of the adopted language and footwork. So every Grand Lodge in the state of in the country of the North America, the United States of America, each state has their own Grand Lodge, and this Grand Lodge in their archives has a book that shows you the language and the footwork. And this is adopted. You cannot deviate from it, because if you do, you are not proficient in the degrees of Masonry. So if there's, like, for instance, if there are like some Masons out there that have a lodge and they're like sacrificing animals or something, that's not in the adopted language and footwork, obviously. Yeah, right. Because if you have one good, heard of that. Well, like, people would claim that they'll say like they're sacrificing animals. They're butt. In a panel I was on the other night, they were saying we're butt pirates or something stupid like that. If that was the case, then, like, imagine how many men would have to be on board with that, right? That's statistically, I would think that that's not probable, right? Because most Masons that I know are like the anti-butt pirate guys. They're like the more right-leaning Christian conservative type men who wouldn't be pro-gay, who wouldn't be pro-sacrificing animals or kids or whatever the conspiracy theory is. So my point here is that these men who are able to form lodges let me back up. I'm going to give you the juicy stuff, right? Because I'm anti this and I think it's a problem. I know that this problem exists and it needs to be addressed. In order to open a lodge of Freemasons, you have to prove your proficiency to the Grand Lodge to get a charter. Okay? So that means you have to confer each of the degrees, the 3 degrees of Masonry of the Blue Lodge. And that means you have to have an A card. That means you have to know the esoteric and the monitorial aspects of the ritual. If you don't know that, you can't get a charter. Well, if you are able to get a charter, let's say there are, the minimal requirement is 7 or more, okay? So if you have 7 men who can perform the ritual, they can get a charter. Well, let's say these 7 men are actually like best friends who were Masons from different lodges and they got together and they're all evil. That's why they're friends, right? These 7 men are Satanists or something. And they're even so deep in it that they're willing to go to the extent of like blood sacrifice, and whether it's animals or whatever, that dark stuff that most conspiracy theorists think of when they think of Masonry. Well, if these 7 men get a charter, they have their own lodge. That means that they are the ones who run the petitioning. So if these men receive a petition from a guy and they ask him certain questions and, you know, he just isn't up to snuff, he isn't the type, you know, birds of a feather flock together. If they don't feel like he's willing to go to that length, they just won't accept him. One member will blackball him. It's in private. You don't know who's going to reject you. The ballot is private. So they can just not allow the guy. So they're careful, right? These evil lodges that exist out there, because they do. I acknowledge that. They're very careful about their petitioning process and how to accept members into their lodge that will agree and conform to their habits. So that exists. It's out there. But my lodge has nothing to do with that. And I'm anti that.
Okay. Fair enough. So I don't know if you can see the stream now, but I have, this is the first page, but it looks like it had been a while since I read it, but it looks like it's just that quote. Yeah. It's on the first page of the book, but it's that quote that you mentioned. So
it's not though. So like if you look at your PDF, this is like a digitized version of the book. This is like obviously an anti-Masonic PDF. They're putting that quote to header it. In the real book, this quote is not in the beginning of the book.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. But it's right. But it's the same quote, right? It's not saying it's dedicated to him. That was a mistake on my part.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
No problem. No problem. It's in the 19th degree, and I would go as far to say that. So, like, I have over 3,000 books. I'm a student of history, philosophy, esotericism, and I will go to the length to say that I actually agree with him on this point, that Jerome actually was doing something a little odd here. Jerome is actually using the word Lucifer, which comes from Phosphorus, the Greek deity, in place of the word Hallel in Isaiah when they're referring to the king of Babylon. And I think that's a deliberate move there. There's a famous theologian by the name of Boethe, or Boetha, or Berta. It depends on how you pronounce it. It's Boethe. This theologian was somebody who kind of pushed back on Jerome's stance. He actually got burned at the stake. If you look at his work as a whole, he was actually a really good guy. I haven't seen any evidence against that claim that he was a good guy.
Do you mind if I ask? Sorry to interrupt you, but you're kind of preaching a little bit. Do you mind if I ask you some questions?
Yeah, sorry, forgive me.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I know you want to, defend your group and stuff.
Well, I also want to expose the evil aspect. I think that exists.
Okay.
So, just to be clear. Just to be clear.
Can you explain to my audience what the significance of your aprons are and why they're worn over your crotch?
Yeah. So I understand the conspiratorial aspect. That's never explicitly mentioned in any of the degrees of Masonry that I've been through. Instead, the degree explains that the apron. So there are two types of Masonry. There are operative and speculative Masons. Operative Masons wear an apron to cover themselves when they're working with mortar. So the mortar can get on your clothing, and that's what the apron is for, is to protect your clothing from getting dirty. But the speculative Mason is taught to use the apron as an emblem of innocence, unspotted by the world. That's the exact language that they use in the degree. So yeah, it's used as an emblem of innocence. And there are different forms that the apron are worn depending on the degree.
Okay. So you're denying that it's like a sexual thing, right?
Yeah, so there is there are unrelated orders. I would call them Masonic adjacent orders, because I've been a part of many orders, not just Masonry. I've been a part of ceremonial magical orders as well, like the Golden Dawn. And through studying the Golden Dawn, there are orders like the OTO and the AA, which were founded by Aleister Crowley.
Yeah.
These orders would symbolize it as such. They would relate it to the mystery of Adam and the skins that God gave to Adam and Eve. Masonry doesn't mention this ever. They teach it as like a actual apron used in brick masonry. So like the mortar getting on your body. But the speculative Mason doesn't work with bricks and mortar. He's taught that like it's a spiritual analogy. He's taught that it's actually an emblem of innocence, and he should keep it unspotted by the world. So the OTO and AA, they'll say like it has to do with the sexual act originating from Adam and Eve's fall.
And what about like obelisks? Obelisks are pretty heavily used by Masons.
They're not, though. So like in any of the degrees that I've been through, an obelisk is never mentioned. Now, there are Masons who have founded the country, who are related with the founding of the country that I live in, the United States of America. Mm-hmm. And there are obelisks in our country, right? And Masons are behind the erecting of these obelisks. But in the degrees, it's never mentioned, ever. Not once is the word obelisk or the picture of an obelisk ever used. I will say this too. There is a book out there that you can buy from Barnes and Nobles. It's called The Duncan's Ritual Monitor. This book, even though it's archaic, it's outdated, it's super close to the current degrees of Masonry. If you go buy that book, you're going to see actual degrees. It's like out there in the public.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know,
Anyone
man.
can buy that book.
I grew up in Washington, D.C. The entire town was designed by Freemasons. I went to high school a couple blocks away from what's the proper name for it? It's the it's the headquarters of the Southern jurisdiction.
Mother Lodge, the Supreme Lodge.
Supreme Lodge of the Southern jurisdiction.
You got it.
Of the Scottish Rite. And just across the river is another I believe another Supreme Lodge as well in Northern Virginia. And they have obelisks all over the place.
They do. It's never mentioned explicitly in the degrees. What I think is happening here is that, without dragging it on, because forgive me, it does sound like I'm preaching. I don't want to talk more than you. Albert Pike is like a mover and shaker because he's a polymath. He's like an adept at world history and philosophy. So Masons who are less educated kind of gravitate towards his work. That's kind of why he took over the Scottish Rite and kind of formulated their degrees, is because he had the ability to actually do it. The 3 degrees, though, of the Blue Lodge, they weren't built by astute people. They were made by Protestant Christians in the 1700s. Well, earlier than that. Well, to be fair, let's say like 1500, right? There are men getting together and they formulate the first 2 degrees. And then another 100 years goes by, 150 years, and they formulate the 3rd degree. None of these guys are talking about Egypt. They're dealing with the Bible. They're talking mainly about the Old Testament of the Bible. And then the York Rite, or the Haughty degrees, those are mentioning the New Testament, because that's the other half of the secret. At the end of the 3 degrees, you're left with the word is lost. But once you get to the York Rite, which is Christianity, the word is given to you. You find out that Jesus is actually the God, that the true God. And Scottish Rite isn't religious. It's more like a university of philosophy. So I can see why the Scottish Rite Temple, the Mother Lodge, has all these different symbols coming from different cultures. It's syncretic. Albert Pike is pulling from Sanskrit. He's pulling from Egyptian, Sumerian, Native American. He's pulling from he's like the polymath of Masonry. Nobody else is really going that far. Albert Pike is like the guy who did that, spearheaded it.
So I've seen not a lot of these Masons, but I've seen a few of these Masons in this pipe community say that you don't need to believe in a higher power to become a Mason. Are they? I'm almost positive they're lying. Why do you think they would do that? Yeah,
so that's true, man. You're so right. So the petitions require the answer. So every Grand Lodge has they will receive the petitions of the Blue Lodges that are local to specific cities. That petition, once it's filled out, it has to get turned into a Grand Lodge. Well, that Grand Lodge has a copy, right? A record. And the rule of thumb is, not the rule of thumb, the absolute rule of the Constitution and Code is that they have to answer these few questions correctly. And one of the questions that you have to answer correctly is, do you believe in a supreme being or a higher power? Depending on what state you're in, it's worded different. Mm-hmm. But it's that, right? It's basically saying you are not an atheist.
Yeah.
Because in the EA degree, it says, by what further right or benefit are you expected to gain admission? By being a man, freeborn, sound of body and mind, of lawful age, and you not a madman or a fool, nor an atheist or a libertine.
It doesn't matter what the higher power is. It could be Satan. Is that correct? Exactly. You could say it's Satan, or I've actually met men in Masonry who are brazen enough to just tell me straight up, I'm agnostic. Right? I'm agnostic, man. I don't really care. Mm-hmm. I'm just in it because I want to do the charity thing. So are you a Norse pagan? Is that why you have runes on your... No. Okay. I'm not. Well, I would say I'm a polytheist. Yeah, I don't necessarily align with Christianity or orthodoxy. I was a hardcore, like, you could say I started out as Baptist,
Protestant Christian, and I moved into something more esoteric or occult, which was like a mystic Christianity, which aligns closer to orthodoxy. But then I don't know, I went really deep into study, and I couldn't justify the metaphysics or the ontology of Christianity. So I became something that's very, very nuanced that I would say maybe 0.01% of the world actually understands or believes in. Okay. I'm hyper individualized. Let's just say that, right? Okay. I'm a polytheist. I would say that.
So a few guys in the chat had said some things. Let me address those, and some of them were for you too. Mainly P. Hall also said the power on the block is the seething energies of Lucifer.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
And someone dropped the link of Jay debating the Masons. Have you seen that? Jay Dyer debating Masons?
I saw a clip of it. There was an Orthodox friend of mine who gave me that video, and I saw a little bit of it. I didn't watch the whole thing. I think both of them are. I think Jay's a shill, honestly. I don't think he's. I don't know. I think true orthodoxy or traditional orthodoxy is, in my opinion, I preference it over Eastern and world orthodoxy. That's just me. Yeah.
Yeah, they're schismatic. So I'd have to I would disagree with you there, but I'm not.
Are you Eastern Orthodox?
Yes, I am.
Well, let's just say this.
I don't want to debate theology with you right now. I'm not a debater.
Yeah, I'm not going to debate. I just want to respect Eastern Orthodoxy because there are men within the tradition that I do respect. I'll just say that.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm not a hateful person. I don't think that
No, you've been real chill. I appreciate that. So someone said, but hyper, Static is trying to engage with you. Official degrees is one thing. The underlying layers of esoterica associated is what Static is talking about. The degrees don't get explicit because they're designed to filter the shallow from the deep.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem, because esoterica is individual interpretation. It's one thing for an individual to start sacrificing animals or kids or whatever, or doing weird sexual stuff in a lodge, and what's written in the Constitution and Code, right? They're different. The esoterica is up to the individual and the members who agree with that, or like I said, birds of a feather flock together.
Okay.
He's correct. He's right about that, and I agree with that.
Do you guys have any more questions for him?
Do you mind if I use the restroom real quick? I'll be back in
go ahead,
2 minutes.
Yeah, go ahead. Big bus. Where is that? I'm trying to find that message you sent. Crack me the hell up. I don't know. You said that I have my own Masonic handler. But yeah, if you guys want me to ask him anything, now's your chance. Regardless if you believe what he's saying, I appreciate that he's been cool about it and that he called in. Oh, what's up, Dirty Muffler? I forgot to say hi to you because he was talking. Good to see you, man. Made by Jim Bob. Oh shit. What's up, Jim Bob? Gotta change that picture. Got an E-celeb in the house. Did you say you're back?
Yeah.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure, man. Go ahead.
Yeah. What's when your channel is called The Static Age? Can you explain? Can you break down what that means? Like, is it stagnation or something?
It means a lot of things. I used to have a different name, and I was just kind of trying to think of a new name, and that was something that came up. So part of it is like a lot of my visuals are kind of like a VHS kind of aesthetic, and at one point I was watching a lot of like nostalgic kind of 80s and 90s kind of stuff on the show, but it's also sort of applies to the age that we live in. So do you know Made by Jim Bob?
I'm aware of him.
So he wanted me to ask you if you want to fight.
If I want to fight?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I grew up in a fighting family. I boxed when I was younger. I was a wrestler as well. I like fighting.
Okay.
I like to get rowdy. Yeah, for sure.
Jimmy, he's actually been very chill. I don't really, I'm gonna be honest with you, man, I don't believe a lot of the things that you said. But you have been very chill and fair. I'm not necessarily accusing you of intentionally lying, but
at best I could like be deceived or something.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I don't know. I don't really have any more questions for you.
Well, yeah, man, I appreciate it. Thanks for letting me stop by.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I only stopped by because of the title. So,
yeah.
Again, appreciate the time, man.
Yeah, well, yeah, thank you for calling in. If I decide to do more Freemason streams, maybe you can come on again.
Yeah, you have my Discord, so just let me know.
All right.
I'll tell you what I know, at least. You too.
All right. Is that Hitler as his YouTube? I didn't even notice that. Oh, gee. When Hyper said he was esoteric Christian, he was referring to Rosa. Ah, man, I should have asked him. He's been really cool. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't believe everything he was saying. I know for a fact that some of the things he was saying are not true, but I don't know if he was intentionally lying or if he's misled himself. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't have a lot more to say about this whole thing. I said a lot at the beginning. He didn't really know the specific Masons that I was talking about or have interacted with, so he couldn't really speak on that anyway. But I mean, I think he was honest about how, you know, there can be bad actors in anything. And I think some of these ones that I have interacted with are bad actors and, at best, extremely childish. What's the music? The album's called Memory Eternal Essentials. Here, I can link it. It's like some Japanese name, so I don't know how to say the name. It's auto, some like Korean words, auto. So you are Rosicrucian then? That's the link to that group's Bandcamp. This album's called Memory Eternal Essentials. I don't have much else to say about this. I would raid you over to Tony right now, but I'm not monetized yet, so I can't do that. But we can do a ghetto raid. Yeah, I'm gonna head over there and watch that. Thank you to everybody who donated. Big Naga, Big Naga, and Little Chungus, and Anonymous. Thank you for the sub, Jim Bob. Big fan. It's almost like all the confusion. Yeah. Thank you to A Hostile Hyperborean for calling in. Thank you for being chill. Like I said, I don't believe everything you said, but I do appreciate you at least being chill about it. Yes, confusion is, yeah. All right, guys, hit that link and go show Tony some love. Thanks for tuning in. God bless you guys. Jesus Christ is Lord.